In this book adaptation, we witness a tear-inducing story of an old man trying to reunite with the woman who got away decades prior. So to summarize the film, in his old age, Christopher is starting to deal with the effects of aging, potentially memory loss, and while he still has his wits about him, he decides to find his long-lost love, Miko. It has been decades since they saw each other in London, but with only an adopted daughter and the threat of COVID-19 outbreak to slow him down, Christopher travels across the world to find a woman who he gave his heart to in his 20s. So get into the review section. The first highlight is that when it comes to the older versions and younger versions of Christopher and Miko, they complement each other well. When we bounce from time period to time period, nobody's kind of usurping the other, and it doesn't necessarily feel like the younger versions are just there to set up the story for the older versions. In many ways, because of how beautiful the relationship is between the younger two, it makes you all the more invested in the older version, so that when we do jump to the present day, or else recent present, it doesn't feel like the bane of this film or the blemish, but rather you get to see the story continue, and it hopes so much that these two get to reunite and you can have all the feelings. Which, by the way, as a very short highlight, this film, the ending's gonna make you cry. And it might be for two reasons, but one reason in particular, it definitely is gonna hit you to the point where you may find yourself questioning, have I drunk enough water lately because of how much tears you had, especially if you haven't and your eyes are burning. And for the last highlight, it's just how when it comes to Miko and her father's culture, they bring it into the story so that Miko is not just some exotic Japanese girl who falls for this Icelandic white guy. Instead, Miko comes with being Japanese, her family moving to London not too far after the bombs dropped in World War II, and not only Japanese being spoken, but the culture being a strong sense of what formed her story, what formed the direction it's on, and even what led to the ending of this film. It's not just mentioned for the sake of it, but truly a part of her in a way that she's not wholly defined by being a Japanese woman, but it's something that's undeniable beyond just what she looks like. And for the last topic, it's the on offense portion, and depending on how you look at it, it may not be a strong issue, but one of the things that kind of was iffy for us is that anything outside of Miko and Miko's father in terms of the story, if you have any type of questions about, Christopher's wife, who he has this stepdaughter with, your questions about the relationship of either one is not going to be satiated. In terms of the stepdaughter, we don't even see that woman's face, and she calls every 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, to Christopher to figure out where is he, especially as COVID-19 hits and lockdowns are happening. And it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it also pushes you to understand that when it comes to Christopher's life, when it comes to his stepdaughter and her mother, they are part of him settling, and hence why we don't get to see them that often. He doesn't really focus too much on them. And take note, he does call his stepdaughter his kid and acknowledges her as that, but with the way that he acts, it seems to be just so that he doesn't come off as an asshole, not because this is truly his daughter in such a way where there's this connection that isn't reliant on the fact that he didn't get to be with Miko and have children. So overall, when it comes to Touch, not only does it deliver a believable but butterfly-inducing romance, but because it acknowledges Christopher's love interest, Miko, being more than just a girl he had a crush on, it goes so much further than some may expect. For by exploring her and her father's Japanese cultures and origins and making it more than just superficial dressing, it brings you a fleshed-out human being who you could fall for, which ultimately leads Touch to delivering an enviable love story in which the female love interest has a life beyond the male interest, imagines for her or about her.